Hi everybody and welcome to this 17th episode of Hip Hip Barbanit Stories. My name is Linda and I'm talking to you from Reykjavik, Iceland. This is gonna be a shorter episode today because I'm like grasping to find time to record these days because life has been so busy. But I really I was gonna do a podcast episode last weekend, but things got insanely busy. I've been trying to record all week, no such luck. So I wanted to squeeze in a podcast episode today because I have a little bit of free time and then I'm super busy later in the day and all through the evening. So I decided to do a quick one instead of nothing. And my family just went to the store. They're gonna bake something and make something extra special for dinner. So I have a really hard time starting to record when there's somebody in the house. I don't know what it is, but if I've started and people come back, it's fine. But I can't start unless I'm alone in the house. Well, the cats can be here, but no humans, please. Okay, let's get into it. I don't have a finished object with me for this episode. This is an old finished object. It's Brio Chevron Slanket by Stephen West, and I did this a year ago or something. I think I finished it about a year ago. A little bit less than a year ago. Or a little bit more than a year ago. Well, anyway. It's like a super long scarf. It starts a little skinny, but it ends super wide. So it kind of looks like a mermaid's tail. The front on my piece is dominated by all kinds of black, or not black, darker tones of colors. I used black and greens and blues, and it's really hard to show this. But yeah, the right side of this looks like this. And then for the back side, I used all kinds of colors, mostly greens and blues and moody, mossy, green, yellow, speckles, all kinds of stuff. And most of these were just leftovers that Stephen left at my house at some point. Some of it is my yarn that I used. There's some Hedgehog Fibers, Ting Fibers, Republic of Wool, House of Alamode. There's like a little bit of Angora in here. There is some mohair, and it's almost all of it is DK weight. There's a little bit of Aran in there. Most of it is DK weight or fingering weight held double. There's some Madeline Toss in here as well, like this green. And it's just, it was a crazy project, but I love this thing. I wrap it around me all the time. I sometimes use it just like as a blanket over my feet when I'm cold and I'm knitting on my sofa. So it's like a perfect thing. And then if I go out and it's like super stormy or snowy or whatever, I can bundle up in it and wrap it a few times around me, and there's no way I'm gonna be cold in this thing. So yeah, it's one of my favorites, and it's been getting quite a bit of wear this season. Even though we've had a really strangely warm November. It's been kind of weird, but for the last 2 or 3 days it's been freezing. We've had one day of snow, and Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about the weather. I'm rambling. I do have 2 finished objects this week, but I don't have either of them with me because the first finished object is the Ingolfs sweater that I finished for my baby sister Fanny. And the other one is Urðarbrunnur, the baby cardigan that I did for her baby Erik. And since they both left the hospital and are home finally, I wanted to give them gifts before they came home. So I recorded a little snippet, like a little thing, before I took the sweaters to them. So I'm gonna insert that here. Hi, it's super dark because, well, it's winter in Iceland. But I wanted to show you a few things that I've made for my sister and the baby, because tomorrow I am going to the hospital to see them and I'm going to gift the things, so I won't have them when I record my podcast. So I want to take some video of the things now so that I could actually share them and show them to you. I hardly ever remember to do this, so yeah, I remembered this time. So I want to show you. First of all, I have finished the sweater that I was, sorry about the view, I'm trying to do everything at the same time with one hand. Okay, first of all, the Ingolfs sweater by Caitlin Hunter for my sister is finished and blocked and washed and everything. Here are the sleeves. And yeah, the color's not coming up. Maybe this is close, but it's a little bit more gray. The light is kind of yellow because it's dark outside. I knitted this out of Vivid Wool, DK weight yarn, and she dyed this beautiful colorway for me. I alternated skeins every row. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but that I absolutely love this sweater. I think it's beautiful. I held a strand of mohair. I don't know if you can see the halo that it's giving, but there's a strand of mohair in here with the white. So yeah, Ingolfs sweater for my sister is done. And I hope that I will be able to get a photo of her wearing the sweater at some point. And then I made this cute baby cardigan for baby Erik. And I made this adorable little hat with a pom-pom to go with it. And this is a pattern called Urðarbrunnur by my friend Dagga, who owns Litla Prjónabúðin. And I made this out of Yaku. And the hat is a free pattern, but it's only available in Icelandic. It's just like a baby cap thing. And it's also made out of Yaku. I started this when I got home from work yesterday, and I finished it last evening and washed it and laid it to dry. And I just attached the pom-pom. It's a fake, it's not real fur because I don't like that. It's a fake pom-pom, Yaku, and I also sewed on the buttons just now. So yeah, they will be getting some gifts from me tomorrow. So those were the sweaters. I'm super happy with them. They were both really, really, really quick knits, especially the Ingolfs. It kind of knitted itself. It took me like a week from start to finish. And yeah, I really loved working on it, and I loved the yarn, and I think it's the same for every knitter. If you like the pattern and you love the yarn that you're working with, the project kind of goes super quick, just automatically, because you're interested in it and the yarn is not like annoying you, and it just goes so fast when both the pattern and the yarn kind of speak to you. And then you just sit down and you really enjoy what you do, so it kind of just happens automatically. And I love those kinds of projects. They just, yeah, I mean, these days I try not to pick projects that I know in advance that I'm gonna be like, ugh, like, I don't use yarn that I don't like anymore. And I know what kinds of projects I like to knit and what I don't. Like, I don't really do cables because I don't enjoy doing them. Maybe I will at some point, but at the moment, and like for the past 10 years of my knitting life, I've never really enjoyed doing cables. So I try to like avoid those kinds of projects. I'm quick with brioche. I'm quick with almost anything, and I love almost anything in knitting, except like I'm not a huge fan of cables, and like intarsia is kind of me, but I love stranded color work, and yeah, I mean lace and stripes. I'm a big fan of stripes, and just squishy garter stitch is like always high on my list of favorites. Oh, I want to show you. Look at my new nail polish. I love it. Sparkly. Yeah, so those are the two things that I finished this week. I didn't finish them this week, but they are the finishes for this week. And yeah, I don't really have anything else that's done. So, but I have like one other whip that's this close to being done. Like, give me half an hour and it will be done. I was gonna try to finish it before I sat down to record, but then I would have lost all daylight. It's like it's 3, 4 in the day, so it's, yeah, the sun is setting and it's getting super dark again. But I started this also just like a week, 7 or 9 days ago or something, and it's almost done. It's a cute, adorable little baby dress. Now, this hasn't been washed, and the only thing that I have left to do is to pick up the stitches here on the sleeves and the 10 here on the underarm, and do like a seed stitch cuff thing on the sleeves, and then it will be done. How cute is this? I love making baby stuff. It's so fast and cute, and yeah, I love it. The yarn that I used for this is, again, no surprise to anybody, Yaku by Camaros. This colorway is called Stovet Rosa. It's number 1020. It's like this beautiful medium antique kind of pink. I really love this color. And this is going to be for my cousin's baby girl who was born the other day. And there's a christening next weekend. So this is going to be like for that little baby. I don't think I showed the button that I picked. So yeah, it's open here in the back, and I'm gonna buy like a cute, probably like pale gray or off-white or something, like a little long sleeve shirt and some stockings to go with this in the package. So yeah, I did some modifications on this dress. Oh, sorry, I dropped my book. This dress is called Clara Dress, and it's by Karin Vestergaard. I've made this dress once before. I made it for my little niece, my sister's daughter, like my sister that has been sick, and I've been helping out. She has a almost 4-year-old daughter, and I made this dress for her when she was a baby. When I made it then, I just knit it according to pattern. But I do remember that there were some things about it that kind of annoyed me a little bit when I was knitting it. One thing was, I think I have the photo of it. No, I'm gonna jump and grab it. Okay, so this is photo, and you see here like the yarn over lines that go up the skirt. It annoys me to death that they are not centered with the decreases that you do here. They're kind of off-centered. Do you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but you can definitely see it when you're knitting it. And those little kind of things, they really, really, really annoy me. So I just changed the pattern a little bit so that the decreases and the line in the skirt and the yarn over holes, they actually match up. See? So that's what I did. So I do a decrease, a yarn over, a knit one, a yarn over, and then another decrease to keep the stitch count correct throughout the skirt, because it's a straight one, and then you do a really rapid decrease here for the, what do you call it, the center, I don't know what you call it, like the waistband or something. Like here, this part right here. And then like for the top of the dress here, I really didn't like how the decreases were done, and we also have the same problem. Like you do the decreases here, and then the yarn over holes here are off center, and then decreases. I just remember that the decreases in the top piece, they seemed kind of all over the place to me, and I didn't really like how they turned out. So I just did like a double center decrease here that matched, like all of it matches, and yeah, that's how I like it. So yeah, just like a few small modifications that really, really, really changed the project for me, because then I wasn't annoyed at like some things that are easy to fix. So yeah, like I said, half an hour more knitting and this dress will be done. And I'm much, much more happy with it now than the first time that I knitted it. I love the first one. I will insert a photo of it probably at some point when I'm talking about this. I really love it. I did it out of Madeline Toss Merino Light, in this beautiful emerald green kind of color, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's just, I wasn't super happy with it, so I just decided to change it up a little bit so that I would be happy with it and not annoyed while knitting it, because I hate that. I hate like when there are like super small things in a pattern that you just don't like, or you think like, oh, it would have been so easy to like move this around. And if you have a little bit of experience, you don't have to have a lot of experience as a knitter. Just do it. Just do the modification, and like you'll be so much more happy instead of knitting the entire thing and like being annoyed the whole time. Like, oh, I should have blah blah blah. I should have fixed it. I should have moved things around. Yeah, that's what I did last time, and even though I loved the outcome, I like this a little bit more because I fixed those little things. Okay, so that's what I've been working on more or less this entire week. The other project that has been like my focus, go to, grab when I leave the house kind of project is the Textures Unite show that I started. Where am I with this? Okay, I'm in the middle of a row. Like always, I'm always in the middle of a row and the yarn is tangled. Okay, let me see. I can probably show it to you anyway. So I have finished the first section, which is a 2-color brioche section. I'm usually pretty good with brioche. I think it's easy because I understand it. I know it's difficult for people who don't understand brioche, but the minute you get it, it's easy. So it's 2-color brioche and it's done, and I have started. I think I smeared lipstick on my knitting. I started the second section, which is just garter stripes, and I've done a few repeats of that. I'm doing the smaller size of the pattern because I know the big size is huge, and even though I really love big shawls, it's like it's big for Steven, so I kind of get lost in it. So I decided to do the smaller version, which is basically as big as the big version of Vertices Unite, and that's kind of my go-to size for shawls. So I've been working on this quite a bit and I really love it. I'm thinking there's one section in this pattern, I don't remember which number it is. It's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's probably section 5, where there's like this honeycomb cable pattern. And like I said, I'm not a fan of doing cables, so I think I'm gonna do another stitch pattern for that section. I'm not sure which stitch pattern I'm gonna use at the moment, but I have some ideas in my head for it, so I'm just gonna like toss that pattern aside and like come up with my own and just be careful of like increases and decreases in stitch counts and stuff like that. So it should work out fine. Just quickly, the dark color that I'm using for section 1 is from Usitita. I don't remember the colorway names at the moment. I remember some of them, but not all of them. The light color is Ching Fibers Daffodils. And then for section 2, the stripes that I'm working on, we have Ching Fibers Brick and One Skein Wonder Club color from my friend Habdis from Vivid Wool. And the other 2 colors that I have for the shawls are from Cut Stories and Hurricane from Ching Fibers in their yak base. So yeah, that's my Textures Unite shawl. I have one thing to show you because I'm gonna do a no frills sweater. I've wanted to do one for a long time. I've just been having a really hard time trying to pick out color. Like, what color do I want for it? I knew that I didn't wanna, I mean, the obvious choice for me is like mustard or golden yellow or something like that. But I have some sweaters in that color and I have some more sweaters planned in that color. So I decided that I wanted a sweater in a color that I didn't have a sweater wow, me in words today. I wanted a color of a sweater that I didn't have already. Ta-da! I did it. So I picked out beautiful mohair from WOC collection. That's not here already. It's coming in my next shipment, probably in a week or something. Not, yeah, close. Well, probably sometime in December. And this is probably gonna be like my knitting, like my Christmas project. I'm in no rush to start it or finish it or anything. It's just something that I want to knit at some point. So I have this beautiful color of WOC collection mohair, and then I'm gonna use this blue. I think it goes like super well with my eyes. It's like almost the same color. I think it's really nice. And this is Tindla Mol from Camaros. The color is called Mörk Turkish, like dark Turkish, like Turkey, not Turkey. Okay, Turkish, yes, dark Turkish. So I think it's really, really pretty. So I have the main base for the sweater already, and the other, like the mohair, is coming soon. So when it comes, I'm gonna cast on right away and knit the sweater. I think it's gonna be super, super quick. That's what it looks like for most everybody that I've seen knitting it. They just cast it on and then it's like boom, and they're binding off, and it's so fast. So I think I'm gonna do either the small or the medium size. I want it to be a little bit oversized, but not too much. I don't want to like drown in it. And I measured, like I did some measurements, and like I'm toying between the idea of the small and the medium. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna think about it until my mohair comes, and then I will make up my mind. I have a little bit of stash that I want to show you, because this is, I know this dyer has been around for quite a while, but I've never ever gotten the yarn from them. I've never seen it or anything, but I got some pretty yarn that I wanted to show you guys. There are a few skeins here. Okay. First of all, the dyer that I'm talking about is based in Norway. It's called Tweedy Tot. I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this yarn, but like I said, I had never seen it in person. I had been like eyeing it for quite a while online, and then I got some in my life. And this is the colorway is called Baby Snakes. This is mohair and silk, 72% kid mohair and 28% silk. It's 420 meters in 50 grams. And then I have this interesting, fun looking thing. Ooh, this would look good with this. But no, I only have this one. This is Silkefloof. Welcome to the dark side is the name of this colorway. This is an interesting blend. It's 69% silk, 22% kid mohair, and 9% polyamide. I really like this. And then I have some singles, 100% merino wool, superwash. This is Dye Born. And then I have After the Gold Rush. This is so me, right? I love this color. And then I have in the merino singles as well, cloud busting. And then I have the amazing 65% merino, 15% yak, and 20% silk base. I'm obsessed with this base. It's from, I mean, Ching Fibers does it as well, and a lot of other dyers, but I love, because the yak wool is kind of gray and musky kind of colored. So when you dye it, all the colors are just instantly my kind of colors. They're like dark, deep, and so interesting. I love it. And look at the shine. So pretty. This is called Caught in the Middle. This one is called Working on a Guru. So nice. I'm obsessed. And baby snakes, the same as the mohair, so they might go together into something. I'm not sure. And I don't have any plans for any of these, but they came into my life on Friday, and I'm obsessed with them, so I need to find something amazing to make with them as soon as possible. I don't really have anything else knitting wise to talk about. One question though that I got through Instagram from Lisa, who lives in Mexico, who is a new-ish knitter. I'm gonna grab my phone because I want to read the question out. Okay, she sent me a question through Instagram. She says she's asking about other things, and then she says, also, I'm fascinated by all your whips. I don't understand this concept of having so many projects going on. Is this to alleviate boredom of working on one project, or can you tell other reasons why it's good to work on so many projects simultaneously? Thank you. Well, for me, it's different things really. I do get bored working on just one thing at a time, even though I still do it. Usually I have quite a few projects like on the go at the same time, but there are usually one or two projects that are like my main two go-to projects, and they usually get done pretty quickly. And then I have like lingering whips that they're just there. There's no time pressure on them, but I just wanna make them and finish them at some point. For me, I really like having socks on the needles because they are super, like, it's so easy to grab them when you're traveling or commuting to and from work, if you're waiting at a doctor's appointment, or if you're in a meeting or whatever. I mean, it's just something that you can always grab, and you don't really have to think about it. You just knit, and it's super fun. I am usually always working on some samples or test knits as well. So that's one thing. And then I like to knit for the people around me and myself. So, and I like having the versatility in different projects. I usually have like a heavier weight project going, like some kind of sweater or a thick shawl or something, like DK weight or thicker yarn or heavier yarn, or and then I have like quite a few fingering weight projects as well, some shawls and maybe some sweaters or baby knits or something. And I think it helps me if I'm super bored with a project and I throw it aside, if I only had that one project going, I would probably not knit for days. And I can't really finish that thought because it's almost terrifying for me. I mean, I knit a little bit every single day. I mean, some days I knit for just a few minutes, but some days I knit for hours and hours and hours. It depends on the weekday and it depends on my mood and of course on my schedule as well. But I would say every weekday I knit about 2 hours at least. I knit a little bit on my way to and from work usually, unless the bus is like super crowded and I have to stand, then I don't really knit. Yeah, so I knit a little bit on the bus, which is like 15 minutes each way. And then I usually knit a little bit at home during the evenings as well. Like we're watching something on TV and I always have something in my hands. On the weekends, I mean, I always have knit group on Saturdays between 11 and 2. So I knit throughout that entire thing. Sometimes we go straight to like a cafe and continue knitting once the knit store has closed. Sometimes we meet on Sundays as well. So I do knit quite a lot and I really love having something different. And I really knit depending on my mood. And I'm not afraid of having a lot of whips. I'm sorry about that noise. Those were my neighbors. I don't really... I mean, if there's a project somewhere in there, I usually go over my whips like once or twice a year. I pull everything out and I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna finish this. Like this has been on my needles for some time and I completely lost interest in it a while ago and it's just been laying there. And then I just rip it out and I use the yarn for something else. Or if it's like super, super close to being done, like you only need to bind off or like make a cuff on a sleeve or something, I just do it. But if I've lost interest in like the project and it was meant for me, I usually just give it to somebody. I've donated to the Red Cross. I've donated to homeless shelters, like some pretty fancy handmade items, but I don't really care. I just want somebody to own them and like be warm. And yeah, and like I said, I frog my projects like all the time. I did like a cleanup. I did like an honest whip list, and I'm gonna do one like probably in the new year. I'm not gonna do one now before Christmas. I did like an honest whip list, and I ripped out a ton of projects. And I'm gonna do that again as well. Like I said, probably sometime in January, because I have a pretty tight schedule, you know, until then. And I kind of want to do it at least before EYF. Who is going to EYF, by the way? Will I see you there? I really hope so. Anyway, so yeah, why do I have so many whips? Basically because I want to. And I don't really see a huge difference in having yarn in your stash or on your needles. I mean, I'm gonna knit with it eventually anyway. So yeah, and I like the versatility. I like being able to jump from like a heavier weight sweater to like a fine knit sock and like everything in between. And using leftovers. That's kind of like what I love to do the most. Like this. Yeah. That's what I wanted to talk about that. Sorry. I got that question and I thought it would be interesting to talk about it on the podcast. So I decided to, instead of replying to her only through Instagram, I decided to talk about it here on the podcast. Okay, I have a Ravelry group for the podcast, and we are doing a knit along, which is called Anything Icelandic Knit Along. There's a discussion thread going on, and I've also made a finished object thread, but I haven't opened it yet. I won't open it until January 2019. The knit along is running until January 15th, so you can join us at any time. It's not too late, and if you want to jump in now and join us in the knit along, all the info is in the info thread, and just, yeah, come over and join. We're gonna have a lot of fun, and we have some prizes. And I decided this week to do a draw from Instagram. So if you have marked your photos for this knit along with the hashtag Anything Icelandic KAL, you are eligible for a prize. And I'm gonna grab the prize because I didn't bring it over. I'm gonna grab it. So I did an Instagram draw from the hashtag Anything Icelandic Knit Along, and the winner is a user called GINNISR. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Ginnisr or something. So congratulations. She is knitting a Dreyma sweater by Knit Love Wool in Litleby, and it's turning out beautiful. And the prize that you get is this skein of 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 425 meters, hand-dyed yarn from Ditta's Dye Dream. And you get a set of stitch markers as well from Prjónamerkin Mín. There are 3 different types. See, pull them out. You get 5 of these, and then you get 2 of these lobster claw ones, and then you get 5 of these cute little flowers. You get this fun bouquet of mini skeins from Dr. Dyeworks, and then you get this DK weight skein of wool from Vivid Wool. So congratulations. I will contact you through Instagram and get the prizes out to you as soon as I can. Now, that's all I have for knitting content. I'm gonna so I'm gonna talk a little bit about life and what's been going on, and then I'm gonna wrap it up and bake with my family, I think. So yeah, like I said earlier, my sister and her baby, they came home from the hospital on Wednesday. Things have been going okay. And then on Friday night, I offered my sister to come and spend the night with her and the kids. just because, I mean, she has a 4-year-old as well, and it's a lot. So I came over and I could immediately tell that my sister was not feeling so good. And she had an infection, so she went to the hospital and has been there all weekend. And I've been spending all nights, like Friday night, Saturday night, and I will spend this next night as well at my sister's house, helping her out with the kids. Me and my mom went there and spent the last 2 nights. And it's fine. It's been 13 years since I've had like a tiny baby to take care of during the night. So it's quite a challenge, but he is just such a sweet baby. He just sleeps, and then you have to feed him every 3 hours, and that's basically it. So being able to help out is just, it's what we do in situations like these. I was just really happy that my sister went to the hospital because she was really, really sick, and she needed like blood transfusion and better medication and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I was really happy that she listened to her big sister and went into the hospital, because she was just gonna go to sleep and see how she would feel in the morning. And I was like, your immune system is not working properly, so you need to listen to me. And I just called the hospital and they were like, yeah, she needs to come in. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I've been spending almost every single evening at the hospital doing feeds, and then they went home, and I had 2 nights here at home with the family, and then back at it. But yeah, it's fine. My family is like my husband and Caritas. They understand perfectly that I need to go and help out. So it's perfectly fine. And I see them coming here, walking towards the house. They just came from the store, and we're gonna bake and make something great for dinner. So I'm gonna leave you now. So we will see each other soon. I don't know when, because yeah, life is full of surprises these days. So I will see you when I see you. Thank you so much for watching.